Hey everybody, and welcome to this weekly update. My name is Sarah Lean and this is weekly update 79. In today's update, I want to be talking about some of the Azure news and also some of my news this week as well. So in terms of Azure news, we have had a lot of Azure news. I want to focus on 3 bits of news though. I want to focus on the fact that we now have the availability of Azure Cost Management to use within your Azure Government pay-as-you-go subscriptions. So that's great for those that are using the Azure Government Cloud and are using pay-as-you-go subscriptions, because it means that you can now start to do that budget management properly. You can start to set up alerts. You can use the whole host of Azure Cost Management suite. So definitely something to check out if you are in the Azure Government space. Now, the other bit of news that I want to talk about is the preview feature of automatic Azure VM extension updates. Now, Azure VM or virtual machine extensions are little bits of software, little bits of add-ons that you can do to improve the functionality or give additional functionality to your Azure virtual machines, such as backup additions. I think, Azure Arc, Azure Monitor, those kind of things are sometimes Azure extensions. But what this now allows you to do is automatically update them, because no one likes to sit there and have to update these virtual machine extensions and have to keep monitoring all of them and then planning the change and the outage and stuff like that. Now, the automatic update of these extensions is probably a great play for your dev and test environments where you're not so controlling of what happens, and you can maybe leverage if something maybe breaks or if there's an outage, an unexpected outage, then it's not massively impacting your organization. I probably wouldn't do the automatic update of the extensions myself within a production environment, but entirely up to yourself. If you want to do that within a production environment, then obviously go ahead and do that. But again, another functionality there within Azure to try and help you streamline and help you be more efficient within your environments. Now, the last bit of news that I want to focus on is that we now have cross-region restores within Azure Backup. If you've ever spun up an Azure Backup Recovery Services vault, you'll know that by default, it's geo-redundant storage that's enabled for it, meaning that there's a copy in 2 Azure regions, so that if something happens to the primary region, then you have a copy in this secondary region that can be pulled up. Now, in the past, it was only Microsoft or through a support ticket that you could actually get that secondary copy of the data, which wasn't great for some organizations, depending on why they wanted that, right? Depending on what their use case was. But now you, as a customer, can actually pull your restores from that secondary region. So if something went wrong in the primary region, if there was a massive outage, or even if there was just some kind of capacity issue or whatever it may be happening within Azure at that moment, you can actually use your secondary copy and spin up a restore from that. So again, great functionality. Do check it out if you're using Azure Backup, which hopefully you all are. And yeah, it's good to hear that feature has come along, because I know it's been one that has been asked quite a bit. So there are other news stories that's happened this week, but I've just highlighted 3 that interested me, and I'm going to pop in descriptions for more information in the description box below, so check that out as well. In terms of my news, it's been kind of a busy week. I have had a couple of live streams this week, and those are definitely always interesting to do. Sometimes they're a little stressful, sometimes they're really fun. Last night, I actually did a stream of my home office. If you caught that, I gave you a little tour of my setup, let you see what I see when I'm standing at this side of the camera. I think it went well. I think there were some issues with the quality of when I swapped to my mobile phone camera. So if you were watching, you'll have seen that I was using this camera setup and then I swapped to my mobile phone and gave you a little tour. I'm not sure the quality of the picture was fantastic. I have no idea why that happened, to be honest, because the mobile phone camera is usually quite good. I've used it in the past in terms of recording videos and stuff like that. And it was connected to the Wi-Fi, so it had full signal. I don't know what the issue was. I don't know whether it was a bandwidth one, whether it was the phone that just couldn't process the footage quite quick enough to push it up into the internet. Not sure, but hopefully it gave you a little insight into what my home office looks like and gave you some tips around what I do and how I do it. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. If you haven't tuned in, please do check it out. It's still available. If you want more of that kind of content, happy to do it. I also did a live stream Q&A, Ask Me Anything, with my colleague Sonia from Australia. It's always nice to work with Sonia because we don't often get a chance because of the time zone. She's in Brisbane, I'm in Scotland. And it can be quite hard for us getting that overlap that doesn't impact us negatively too much. So it was really nice to be able to spend some time with her and do a little work project. And again, thank you to everybody that tuned in and asked them some questions. We did have an interesting chat. Again, that video's still there if you want to tune in. It's on our Teams chat, our Teams channel, which is IT Ops Talk on YouTube. So again, check that out as well. Some news that has happened for me is that I am speaking at several events this year. I have volunteered myself for a few events. I have been asked to speak at a few events, and I just wanted to give you an update on some of those. So I am speaking at Microsoft Ignite later this year, so 2nd to the 4th of March. I'm speaking on the 4th of March, I believe. 6:30 a.m. my time here in the UK. I'm really looking forward to that. One of my tasks today is actually to finish off building that presentation. So looking forward to that. It's always nice to speak at Ignite. I wish it was in person, obviously, as a lot of us do, but it's still going to be hopefully a good event where we're doing it virtually. So definitely tune in, register for it, and see what's happening. The boss man, Rick, is actually hosting the event, so he'll be popping up at some points during the event with his partner in crime, Joey. So yeah, again, another event that we can hopefully enjoy virtually together. One that I'm super excited about is that I've actually been selected to speak at Techielass. Techielass is a big conference that I've been attempting to speak at for several years now and never been able to, get past the speaker selection. It's always a really popular event, both from attendees and speakers. And this year I've actually been accepted to speak. So I am super excited. I am gutted again that it's not in person and I can't be there with everybody and get to experience Techielass in person, as I've heard it's an amazing event in person. But I'm sure the team will have an equally amazing event virtually, and with the lineup of speakers that include me, it will be awesome. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased about that. Looking forward to that. That's in May. I can't remember which day I am actually speaking at that event, but it's in May later this year. So again, please sign up, have a look at it, see if you can join us. I know I'm super excited to be speaking at it as well. I am inside. For those that are watching on the video, I had found a lovely spot outside where I wanted to film this video today. Unfortunately, the rain in Scotland is absolutely what we would call lashing down. I don't know if you can hear it battering off my window, but it is blowing a hoolie and the rain is coming in all directions, hitting you from above, below, sides, and the wind is horrendous. So I don't think my camera equipment, my tripods would survive any of that outside, and I don't think it would be an enjoyable experience for you or me. So yeah, I'm inside, unfortunately. It's just the weather conditions. I'm kind of hoping at some point that I'll be able to do a live stream once the weather picks up a little. As long as it's dry, I'm happy to be outside, but got a couple of locations in mind now that I've hit the 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. I can now do live streams straight from my phone. Fingers crossed if you get a good signal, if you get a good weather day as well. So definitely tune in for that. If you've enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button, share it, subscribe. It helps me and it helps everybody else find this amazing content that I'm creating. Hope you've all had a good one this week. Stay safe over the weekend, and I will catch you in the next video.